I'm going to appear on the Woodscopes.
Wood.
Is this Jim Rome?
Is this 12 wood?
It is. You know what? You know how I said I was going to run you?
Do it, dude.
Rack him!
Do it, dude.
Rack him!
Oh.
All right, dude. Thanks a lot.
Rack him!
The Woodscopes was a blast. We chopped it up for nearly a half an hour. I enjoyed every second of it. Honestly, I am so happy that he went at me as hard as he did to do it, because I said Friday night, and I'll say it again right now, I should have done that much sooner.
Ladies and gentlemen, the authority on America's pastime, jet passing.
Jeff Taston, brother. How you doing?
What's happening, my man?
And don't mind me. I'm eating a hot dog with ketchup on it as we speak.
Oh, I didn't realize I was talking with a 5-year-old. All right.
Anybody listening to Scott Farrell?
I heard a little bit of him on Friday.
That guy is funny, man.
Pharrell on the bench. How you doing, bud?
What's happening? Eventually, after doing all these radio shows like in Miami and with Mancow and all the rest, I was working at Fox Sports Radio doing a national show, and then Howard Stern called and offered me the job. And so when I went there, I just did completely uncensored, the filthiest show you've ever heard in your life. It was the dirtiest thing you've ever even, put your ears on. Because I knew of you because of your fandom with him, and then people started bombarding me, all your fans or whatever, to do your show. So I
Shame on you
thought
guys.
it would just be cool one night to do it because I'm not a dick.
So the Woodscope is tomorrow night, and I'm led to believe that Cruz Pedregon's going to take part.
How about that? Oh, hold on, Cruz. That was amazing.
Is this Cruz Pedregon?
Hey, yeah, this is me. How you doing?
What's up, dude?
Am I on with the scope?
You're on the Woodscopes! Friday night!
Nice. Very nice.
Dude.
And Mikey Francesi.
Michael Francesi, said by police to be a young, tough boss in the mafia. Say Francesi, who is only in his 30s, is the youngest mafia boss in the country and possibly the richest.
Is this Michael Francis?
Hello. That's me. And he said, tonight, Michael Francis, you're born again into a new life, into La Cosa Nostra. Violate this life and what you know about the life, and you're going to die and burn in hell like the sink is burning in your hand.
Oh, my gosh.
That's the oath. He said, do you accept? And I said, yes, I do. And that's how it started for me. We figured out a way to defraud the government out of tax on every gallon of gasoline. And I ran an operation for 7 years that wound up selling 500 million gallons of gas a month, and we were taking down 20 to 30 cents in tax money. So, we were generating $10 million a week at one point. So it was a pretty big operation, and I was the architect of it, and I eventually went to prison for it.
Matt in L.A. on the Woodscopes tonight, as well as the lead singer of the Spin Doctors, and D.A. may or may not call the Woodscopes to take that beef to the Woodscopes.
I don't remember asking you who was going to be on the Woodscopes tonight.
That's called a segue, another radio term. I heard you mention Matt in L.A.
I've got a radio term for you. Beat it.
If you guys don't know by now, we have Chris Barron from the lead singer of the you go by Spin Doctors, not the Spin Doctors. I know that there's a debate when you guys were trying to name the band. Is that correct?
That's right. We had a big old fight about it, and I lost.
Is it too much for me to ask for you to do the bit dibby da ba ba da ba ba da ba ba da ba ba? I mean, dude,
How about that?
Our next guest has firsthand experience with the Russian oligarchy. Let's welcome Ben Mesrich.
It, too, is being made into a movie. We're joined by its author, Ben Mesrich. Ben, good morning.
Thank you very much.
You've written about a lot of cool stuff.
Yes, you have.
Hello.
Mr. Ben Mesrich. How you doing, bud?
Good. How are you?
What was
Yeah,
that?
the Facebook story.
Yeah.
I got an email from a college kid, and he was a Harvard senior, and he wrote me an email saying, my best friend founded Facebook and no one's ever heard of him. So, I'd heard of Mark Zuckerberg, but I'd never heard of anybody else.
Right.
And so I went out for a drink, and in walked Eduardo. And if you saw the movie The Social Network,
Yes.
You kind of remember that character. But basically, he just walked in and started the conversation by saying, Mark Zuckerberg fucked me.
Nice.
That's where
What's up, everyone? It's the Woodscopes. It's Friday night. We got, dude, my favorite guest ever. And I don't just say that, dude. I mean, I've had the Jim Rome on. I've had, Michael Francis, but you're my favorite dude to talk to. Austin freaking Huff. How you doing, buddy?
Wood, how are you, dude? Should my shirt be off after that intro? Like, I feel like I'm the only sober guy at the Rager right now.
I'm sober too. I got my Jim McMahon headband on though.
Look, it won't be long though. I came prepared. Look, I'm ready to party on this.
Oh shit! Tonight. I gotta catch up to you. I'm drinking caffeine now because I was getting tired. Like I was up early this morning and late last night because I'm a video gamer and I just can't. Oh, one more game.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's the worst.
We say OMG. One more game. OMG. So, you ever play Rocket League?
No, I have not. I'm not that big of a gamer, and honestly, the only video games I do play are sports like Madden.
For
MLB.
sure.
Yeah, college football. Rest in peace.
Yeah, well, they stopped doing that. What year? Like
2014. 2014.
They had MLB baseball one year as like a trial for the next MLB game because they were trying to do this toggle thing with the swing. And they're like, okay, well, we're not gonna, roll that out on a MLB game. Let's make college baseball. And I was a huge Alex Gordon fan. That was the year he was graduating. So
Alex Gordon, shout out Kansas City Royals. God.
Yeah, his ranking was like 104. Everyone else was like 75 because he was
University of Nebraska's finest.
Hell yeah, dude!
Mistaken, right?
Dude,
yeah.
Of course you would know. Oh man, I got so much to talk to you about, man. I know. Obviously, the big debate on Twitter today. I mean, I don't want to ruffle the feathers early. So should we hold off on the rose killed?
I don't think we empty the chamber yet. I think we hold on to that. We tease it for later, as coming up a little later. We'll get into all of the Titanic debates, and I mean that both as they're debates about the movie Titanic, but they're also massive debates. So.
Yeah, there's definitely, I know I'm going against I don't know, a college football team, and you're like the Patriots of 2010 or whatever, when it comes to knowledge of the Titanic. So I'm gonna get prepared to get my ass kicked on that one.
I am a hashtag Rose Truther. So
I know you are.
Put that into the tease as well. It is everyone on the internet there was room on that door for them both to survive. No, it's about buoyancy. People forget that. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Hey, before we go on, if you're watching the show right now, whether you're on Twitch or you're on YouTube, click on that share button. This is Austin Huff. He's the most entertaining guest on the Woodscopes ever. Now 4 times, I think. I don't know.
You're I know. What am I the Steve Martin hosting SNL of Woodscopes? What's the guest you've had on the most?
Austin Huff.
Is it? Am I really?
Oh, for sure, dude. For sure, dude. Because I remember the first time I had you on. It was your last week on the Jim Rome show.
I'm on Conan back in the day. Remember, whenever a guest would cancel on Conan, he would just go downstairs and get Al Roker to join. I'm your Al Roker.
No, dude. You're like Jay Leno to Johnny Carson. Am I dating myself there?
So eventually I'll get my own scope, is what you're saying.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And then I'll eventually give that scope to Conan, only to take it back a couple months later.
For sure. I also compare you to the Bear Week in Wisconsin. It's when the Bears and the Packers play, we call it Bear Week here. And everyone is and everyone is singing, "The Bears still suck. The Bears still suck." And
I don't like that song. I don't like that. I got to adjust. I'm a Chicagoan now, Scope. I feel like it is. I feel like a lot has changed since the last time we talked. I now live in Chicago, and I bleed most Chicago sports now. So look, I even got a Cubs sticker.
And I like the Cubs. I've been to Wrigley a million times. I love Wrigley.
Wrigley, even before I moved here, Wrigley was my favorite stadium of all. I've only been to maybe 10, but Wrigley was my favorite of all of them.
Yeah.
And I didn't even grow up. I'm not a Cubs fan by nature. I like the Cubs, but I love Wrigley. It is amazing.
Yeah. It's baseball, dude. It's you get this college football feel when you're at the Wrigley, and especially bleachers.
Yeah,
people ripping off shirts and beach balls flying everywhere. You get a fight here and there. I mean, when I'm in Chicago and the Cubs are not playing, the White Sox are, I get bummed out. Like, oh, I got to go to Cellular One or whatever.
I will say though, the Sox when that stadium is buzzing, when they're good, and they're playing. I went to a Cubs Sox game there, a crosstown classic.
Yeah,
and you want to talk about a college football atmosphere? The fans there like chanting and cheering, like it is.
Nice.
It was the most college football feeling baseball stadium I've been to. So it is. I like the Southsiders a lot. I really do. And I know I don't know if I could say that. I know that's like kind of sacrilege to say that with a Cubs sticker on my wall, but I'm new to Chicago, so cut me some slack.
My older brother lives in Naperville, and he has to frequent the White Sox, and I'm like, dude, go to Wrigley. It's like 5 steps for he works at a building next door to the Sears or the Wilson or Winslow, whatever you call it, whatever you guys are calling it these days.
Yeah, I'll call it the Winslow. Yeah, Carl. Family Matters, Chicago family. He was a Chicago PD. I am 48 minutes, a 48-minute walk from Wrigley Field, where I sit right now. Yeah.
Let's talk about where you sit right now. So you are working Melissa and Austin in the morning, or do I have it backwards? Austin in the morning?
Melissa and Austin in the morning. Yeah, no, you got it. Look, my name should never come first in anything that I do. So
that's bullshit. How's that going?
It's going great, dude. It's going great. Other than waking up in the morning, I talk about this on the air. This isn't a state secret. I hate waking up in the morning. It's the worst thing in the world. I loved working with Rome.
Yeah,
hated waking up in the early. Like it's never changed. I'm a night owl. Obviously, I do stuff like this. I'm most creative at night. I enjoy staying up late, and I still do stay up late. That's the problem.
Oh my gosh!
And I have to wake up at the butt crack of dawn, literally the butt crack, and it is. I have to do it every single day, and I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy.
Dude, I stay up till like 1 a.m. I get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. I burn the candle at both ends.
That would be sleeping in for me. I wish I could sleep in that late. That would be
what time
great.
do you get up?
I wake up at 4 every morning.
Oh shit, dude! The sun's not even up for like another 6 hours.
It is. Yeah. Seriously, I wake up in the middle of the night. That is what it feels like. There's a few months in the summer when like the sun at least will start to be creeping up as I'm going into work, and those are my favorite months of the year because it's like at least I feel like I'm somewhat of a normal schedule. But
are you crabby?
But I do like waking up. No, I'm not. I'm usually not crabby. Obviously, and I can I'm always in a good mood for the most part, and I like being done in the middle of the day. That's nice. Like usually I'm done around 11 or noon, and that's a nice thing. And then I can go home and I can kind of have my evenings with my daughter and stuff. So that's
nice.
Great.
The station you work for is country music. Are you a country music fan?
I am. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, you're a Nashville native, right?
Right. I grew up in Nashville, so like it's kind of hard not to have it ingrained in you, I guess, growing up there. But I actually wasn't a country music fan growing up. I was like the person in Nashville who didn't like country music. And then once I moved away from Nashville for like college and stuff, I started getting like I would hear country music and it would like make me homesick. It would make me nostalgic for like my childhood.
And
so then And then I just growing up in Nashville, you have all these random connections to the country music world. Russell Dickerson is an up and coming artist, and I worked with him at the mall, and then and then Trisha Yearwood lived down the street from me. Alan Jackson lived like kind of right down the street.
Oh my
from
God.
me. We would trick or treat at his house like that. There's all these like random country music connections, and obviously like I've made friends through doing radio in Nashville over the years and stuff too. So The country music world, excuse me, country. I don't have a cough button here. The country music world is it's a small world, so it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
I think it gets better with time because I think mainstream music outside of country is getting worse.
Oh,
it's country is getting better.
And that's the one of the cool things about country is like it's kind of 3 genres wrapped into one. And
right.
I'm not naive to the fact country is a very niche genre. It is. Yeah. You either love country or you hate country. There's very few people in between. But I do think that country music is making some strides to try and grow the listenership by kind of doing like what you were saying. Like there's like they're kind of expanding their horizons, and it's really getting interesting, and it's fun. Now, like diehard old school country fans hate it because they're like, "Oh, this isn't country." And,
I hear that.
But like, if you're more of a pop fan, it could get you into the country music world. So I'm all for it. Like, let's make the party bigger.
My dad is he grew up and made me and my siblings all listen to The Gambler. And Willie Nelson and
Kenny
all that,
Rogers,
Cash and stuff, and I like that stuff. Also, the bank I work at, they bump country music all day long, and I'm like, I catch myself like humming. I'm like, okay, actually, I think I like this song.
Yeah, there's some songs like, and I'll be honest, like coming into this job, I was still fairly new to the genre, and there were some songs that I didn't know or whatever. But now, after like working in it for almost 2 years now. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, okay, yeah.
Who sings the "Wait in the Truck" song? I like that one.
The "Wait in the Truck."
Wait in the truck. Have mercy on me,
Hardy.
Yeah, dude, I like that song. Yeah, freaking cool.
Oh my gosh, if you like that song, go check out the music video for that.
Yeah,
it is. It's all about him. I'm pretty sure it's about him killing a guy
for beating up a woman, and he's like happy about it. And she's a stranger too. That's the best part about it.
Well, his name isn't Softy. Am I right, Wood?
It's Hardy. Hey,
do you have a rim shot? Do I get one of those?
That's up to Horse. Horse, do we got a rim shot? Speaking of Hardy, a lot of your videos on Instagram or TikToks, I see this thing about a boner alert. What's going on here?
That's with Cork Bats. Whenever Cork Bats is the #1 Derrick Henry fan site on the internet. Whenever Derrick Henry scores a touchdown, it's a boner alert.
Right.
So it gets I mean, you do know what a boner is, right? It's when your penis gets erect.
Okay.
So
thank you.
So
do we have a boner? I don't know. I haven't heard it.
Derrick Henry puts up 6. We go from 6 to midnight.
There it is.
There, right there. There it is.
That's good. I always love that. And then when they, and this is hard for you to hear, but when they lose,
if that's not a sales pitch to follow Cork Bats, I don't know what is. Honestly,
let's talk. This is Cork Bats.
Late night crowd.
Here, I was watching one of your podcasts. It was Doing Lines. And one of the guys that was talking, I don't remember, was a comedian, was saying, I think it might have been one of the Sklar guys, was saying, when are you gonna blow up? Your content is freaking phenomenal. And he's not lying, because I've been wondering the same thing. Like, why is this Austin Huff not having his own Barstool coverage? Like, seriously, dude, your shit is phenomenal. And I'm not just saying that I think everyone would agree with, but we're all waiting for you to blow up and become the next big shit. I'm waiting for Jim Rome to call you up and say, hey, can you host the show? You know,
I've thought about, I haven't called in any favors with Rome, but I've thought about getting him on, if not like doing lines, then like at least a podcast or doing something, doing something with him. Cause, I think that would be a fun get. And I think that would be something that I think you guys, the clones, like, I think you guys would absolutely love it. And
for sure,
I would love it. And, but that's, that's later on down the road. I'm not going to call in that favor, at least anytime soon. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't pump any outside of like the web hosting and like the things that like keep the lights on. I don't pump any money into it. And so
Yeah.
It's literally it's a grassroots campaign to grow.
That's all you need.
It's literally just it's word of mouth, and I mean the endorsements. Like, yeah, I think like we've gotten some really nice endorsements through that podcast of Doing Lines. Doing Lines is basically a podcast, which everyone has a podcast these days. So describing a podcast seems kind of it pointless.
Yeah.
But our podcast, I think we have a really cool concept with it. It's different than any other podcast I've heard of, but it's me and my buddy Kyle Ayers, who's a comedian in Los Angeles. We come up with fake betting lines every week, and they're really dumb and stupid and pointless betting lines.
Great.
And we have our guests who are usually either comedians or sports personalities. We have them bet on the things. And so, like, for example, like 1 week Kyle broke his foot, and so he couldn't walk around. He wasn't as mobile as normal, and his bet was, which is more, the number of times Matthew Stafford gets sacked this week or pounds I gain this weekend sitting on the couch watching football. So one of them was how many which is more, Justin Fields' number of touchdowns or dirty diapers that I changed for my daughter.
I saw that one.
Yeah, so it's like we have just a bunch, but our guest list has been phenomenal. We've gotten both Sklar brothers, Bobby Bones, Sarah Spain from ESPN, Jason Fitz from ESPN. We just had Mike Hall from Big Ten Network on. We've been able to.
That's what I'm talking about, dude. You guys are getting recognized.
We're just trying to keep pace with the Woodscopes, honestly. We haven't gotten like Jeff Passan or Rome on yet, but we're working for it. That's our goal.
The only reason I got those guys is because they like Jim.
Hey, look, dude, pull what you can, honestly. And then once you book the great guests, then it's easier to book even more guests because they're like, oh, damn. Like, oh, Sarah Spain did this. Oh, Roy Wood Jr. from The Daily Show did this. Oh, wow, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome. I saw the Roy Wood. Like,
he was great. He's so funny, dude. He's so funny. That was a fun get for us because we both adore him, and he's so funny, and he knows sports too, and that's the nice thing when there's that crossover of like comedians who also know sports. And we have a few others that like we have coming up in the next coming weeks that we're really looking forward to. But it's a fun podcast if you like the NFL, and whether you like sports betting or not. Personally, I'm not a big sports gambler, but I love this. I love doing this podcast. I love coming up with the bets each week, and I love hearing which bets Kyle comes up with. It's a lot of fun.
The thing you haven't mentioned yet is, which I think is one of the funniest parts, is what fake charity you're going to donate to.
Yeah. I guess I didn't. I should have sold it a little bit better. So we're betting on fake lines with fake money, and then all of the winnings we win from the fake money, of course, we donate back to fake charities. And having these comedians and sports personalities come up with fake charities, that's been one of my favorite parts.
Do they do that like that, or do you give them a heads up?
We give them a heads up. We give them a heads up because not everyone's like we could probably do that with the comedians, but with some of the sports personalities, we will hit them ahead of time and say, hey, we're looking for a fake charity, and then they come prepared. We say don't tell us what it is, and we hear it live on the podcast. And that's been one of the most fun things. And then also, I forgot to mention, it's a competition. So based on how much money you win each week, that is basically like then you're put into like standings. We keep standings of who wins the most.
Yeah.
And we're talking about doing like a Super Bowl pool at the end of the season and getting like all of our winners back in. But the worst person, the guy who's lost the most money on our show, Mike Ryan Ruiz, which I don't know if you listen to the Dan Le Batard show, but he's the executive producer of Dan Le Batard. Cool. And yeah, so he jumped on with us, and he is literally the worst of fake betting. So
I've noticed that Kyle Brandt has mentioned corked bats multiple times on Good Morning Football. When are you getting his ass on?
Kyle has been a big supporter of cork bats, which I'm so grateful for. Because obviously, his name and the brand that he's built for himself and everything, obviously that he did with Rome, but then even like post Rome, like I mean, definitely post Roan. I mean, like he is just blowing up, and so like for him to say like for him to shout us out and stuff, that's really cool, and I really do appreciate because he doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
And we try and help him out whenever he asked for it. So like that's been a good relationship. We always got along very well. Like we worked together for a year, had a little bit of an overlap for when we worked with Rome, and he's been super cool. So I'm very appreciative of him. And he's a huge 90s action movie fan, or 90s and 80s. And so this month we've got Jean-Claude Van Damme going on. And
I saw that.
He's all in on it. It's awesome.
He's your new what's the Brandon Fraser or
Brendan Fraser. Yeah. So we do love Brendan Fraser. Still a big Brendan Fraser blog. But we do have 1 month of the calendar year dedicated to our guys, JCVD, if you will.
I'm locked in on Michael McDonald still, by the way.
Which I love that, dude. I honestly need more Michael McDonald content on my timeline.
Do it.
I need you to get on that.
Oh, okay. I'll do it. And you're reposting. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I just need.
Right.
I will say this. There's not a lot on the internet, at least these days, that makes me giggle. But whenever I see a Michael McDonald post from you, it does. It gives me a chuckle.
I do have a commercial. Whereas most modern cars are equipped with backup cameras. This car is equipped with backup singer Michael McDonald.
I remember that. I've seen that. I love that, dude. And it's just like Michael McDonald's voice. Can we talk about that for a second?
Oh, yeah. That's my fake charity, by the way. Is
Michael McDonald?
The school of Michael McDonald music. Where you could go and just sound like ass and still make it somehow.
Right. Or just McDonald's for short is what they call it.
There you go. McDonald's. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's the best. The whole reason I got into that is that whole, when you're at work in an office and they're playing the music that you don't get to choose, and Michael McDonald's at every three or four songs, it becomes a part of you. And you're like, okay, I gotta make fun of this guy for the rest of my life. And
right.
Committed to it. I've committed to it, dude. It's pretty good. So let's talk about Austin Huff for a moment. I don't know. I've had you on like 4 times, maybe 5. We're talking the train wreck. The one thing I don't think I've ever discussed with you is how did you get to where you are today? Like from the beginning. I know you're really close with your father. Did he get you into broadcasting? Like, hey, try to get into radio, or were you listening to radio as a kid and you're like, oh shit, I got to get in that? Or how did you?
Dude, my story is it's so random. So for my senior year, growing up, let's take it back to like middle school. Middle school, I would wake up an hour earlier than I absolutely had to. And I would watch 30 minutes of Sports Center, followed by 30 minutes of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Which I'm pretty sure that probably gives you a good intel as to like what molded me.
It explains everything. We got to end that segment right there. You answered everything. Good job.
I'm kidding. It's a half Pee-wee's Playhouse, and it was funny. I would go to school every day with the word of the day. I don't know if you ever watched Pee-wee's Playhouse.
For sure, dude.
They do the word of the day, and whenever anyone says the word in the episode, everyone screams.
With conky? Yeah, you got to get conky in there.
Yeah, exactly. So I would take the word of the day to school with me, and I would tell my friends what the word of the day was, and then whenever our teacher or anyone would say it, we'd all scream. Ah! But yeah, so that like kind of. So growing up, I wanted to be a Sports Center anchor. I was like, oh, I want to be on Sports Center so bad because I would see, and I grew up in the heyday of Sports Center. Stu Scott, Rich Eisen, that was one of my favorite duos.
Oh, for sure.
My absolute favorite duo, Kenny Mayne and Dan Patrick. I thought those two were incredible together.
Yeah.
And I watched these guys, and they would make me laugh while getting my sports highlights, and I was like, that is a job I want to do because I loved sports and I love making people laugh. And then I got to high school, and for senior year we did career shadow day, and I shadowed for whatever reason. My mom knew a guy who had a connection with the biggest sports talk radio guy in town.
All
And
right.
I'd always like listen to sports talk radio, like whenever I was in the car with my dad, but I'd never like Nashville didn't have a dedicated sports talk station.
Sure.
At least not until I guess it was my senior year that it was finally launched. But prior to that, it was always like there would be sports shows on talk radio.
Yeah.
And so we got connected with the number one guy who like started, he like was like one of like the founding fathers of like Nashville's first all sports talk station. And I got the connection. I went in, I shadowed him for career shadow day, and I was like, I just sat there in awe for like 4 hours during their show. And I was just, I cannot believe this is a job.
Yeah.
I cannot believe these guys sit around and talk about sports all day. I want to do this. And like from that moment on, I was like, I want to go into sports talk radio. I ended up going to school for broadcast journalism, though, because I did not let the dream of being a sports center anchor die until I got to college. Then I was like, I saw what broadcast, like sports, like broadcast journalism actually was. And I was like, oh, this is boring. Going out and shooting stories and writing scripts and, and being very tight with your time and having to like, by the second. I was like, no, I don't. This is, and like moving to like, no offense to like Bismarck, North Dakota, but then like moving there and then like having to move up to like the next market above and then moving all the time just to work your way up. I was like, I don't want that. I don't have time for that. And in college, I started cork bats with a buddy of mine, and we just did that just to make our friends laugh, and it started growing and growing, and so I kept doing that. Well, after college, I moved back to Nashville, and I pursued a career in sports talk radio, and just worked my way up and bounced around from show to show, job to job, and then ultimately I got the Rome gig, which that was man, that's a chance encounter. Rome just tweeted one day. He said, I'm looking for someone to like basically join my team. If you think you have what it takes, send me your resume, cover letter, and samples of your work. And I was literally on a anniversary trip with my wife. Yeah. And we were at the beach, and we had come back up for lunch, take a break out of the sun, and someone I didn't even see. I followed Rome, but I didn't see the tweet.
Yeah.
Someone DM'd it to me, so I would have completely missed this.
Yeah.
And someone DM'd it to me, so I was like, oh dang. And I asked my wife, I was like, should I do this? Thinking she was gonna be like, no, let's go back down to the beach. Should I do this? And she goes, no, do it. Go ahead, do it right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So I just got all my stuff together, literally right there during our lunch break from the beach, and I got it all, sent it all out, and it was a long process. It was a very long process. I think 11 months to the day I applied was when I actually started. When I was hired. Yeah, but and I think a large part of that was I was the first person Rome ever hired from outside of Southern California. So I think he was very cautious of me, because I will say this. Rome, and I always will say this, Rome grinds his ass off. Like he works hard. There's a reason he's at where he is, and there's a reason he's been where he is for 25, 30 years. Like that is, he works hard, and he expects that of his team. So he flew me out for a couple of days, like probably 3 or 4 months in, just to like see what the work balance was like, and it was a lot, but I was like, I mean, it's a chance to work with Jim Rome. Yeah, I'll do it. I feel confident in my work ethic and everything. So I go out and I see that, and that was when he was doing the CBS TV show right after the radio show. So we would do the radio show, then we'd go out to the TV show, then we'd come and then you'd be done for the day for the most part, and then at night you'd kind of circle back up and start prepping for the next day's show. And Rome is not one of those guys where, oh, if I don't get to this today, we'll get to it tomorrow. Like, no. It's like every day is its own blank slate. You start over from scratch every single day, which I kind of respect about him, because that's not easy. There's a lot of first of all, sports talk radio is a very lazy industry to begin with. And so it doesn't take much to work hard, but it takes a lot to work as hard as Rome does. And 11 months later, I got the job and worked out there, and it was incredible. And it was the most, it's to this day, honestly, I hear I have my own show, and I still like Rome. Working for Rome was the most, I guess, commanding job that I've had time wise and effort wise and everything, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Like I planned on being out there for many, many years until I got the job in St. Louis. And then I had job opportunities between St. Louis and Nashville. I was a finalist for the Nashville job, and I got the St. Louis job, but I fell short of the Nashville job. So we moved to St. Louis, and and it was where, St. Louis was great. And then that's kind of when I rebirthed Cork Bats, because Cork Bats took a hiatus when I went to work for Rome, which I think Cork Bats helped me get Rome, because I think Rome saw Cork Bats and he was like, you did all this yourself, like you. And I mean, I've always had like a couple of people working with me, but it's a majority of it has been myself. And I was like, yeah, and I think he was impressed by that. So yeah. Anyway, that was a long ass answer to your question. Wait, I can't hear you.
Oh, I had my mic off. Oh my gosh!
Cough button. It's that.
I did cough.
Damn cough button.
I did cough, and I was like, I cleared my throat, and I was like, oh, okay, I shut it off.
No, I hear you, dude.
I'm like, why is it not responding to anything? I'm like, going, yeah. No, it's all my fault. It's been like 20 minutes since
It's an off button. No, that answer was way too long for what
it was
you
perfect.
asked.
I was just going to tell you that I love that stuff. Speaking of boner alerts, I love like hearing people's stories, how they got to where they are today, because it's never just a story about, I accidentally got in that job. I applied, and it's a grind. And I had, Grant Napier on a few months ago.
Yeah,
hear his story, how he got to where he is and where he is today. I mean, just everything was just like, oh my gosh, that's freaking cool. Next month on February 3rd, have you ever seen the movie The Rookie?
Yeah, Dennis Quaid.
The guy who he plays, Jimmy Morris. He's going to be on the Woodscopes.
No way.
We're going to talk about his whole story. So,
like, dude, I'm like, I love how hard you grind with this, because I remember when this show first started, when I was working for Rome, and it was like, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, Clones is doing something on Periscope, and then it was like you see it, it's like, oh wow, they put a lot of effort in this. Okay, cool. And then I jumped on, I think after my last show.
Yep.
Right.
I barely knew who you were.
First time. Yeah.
I knew. You were this guy who like filled in seats at the Oscars and was called Dallas from time to time.
I was very under the radar in my time with Rome.
First time I heard your name, Jim Rome read a tweet of mine. It was one of my first tweets ever. And either right before that or right after, he read one of your tweets. You might have been. I don't even think you were with him yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like 2017, like late 2017 or early 2017. Does that make sense?
I was with him then. Yeah, I was there from 2015 to 2018. So yeah, so I probably ran the tweet into him though, and this is probably what happened. He read your tweet. And then he got on me for bringing that tweet into him. He said, come on, Huff, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, okay. Because what I used to do is like when I first started tweeting at the show, I would, at the end of the day, I would tweet at the people who got their tweets read, and I'm like, nice job today, guys. And I was like, I remember, I should probably find it. I remember saying, does anyone know who this Austin guy is? Because I can't find him.
Yeah. And I would say that like Clones, man, to this day, there is no listenership. I would say Dan Levitard is close, but I think it's a distant second still, even to what everything that they've built, to what Rome has built over 25 years, 30 years with the Clones. Like the Clones are, I just remember working because I would have to screen tweets. I would screen emails and tweets with with one of the many jobs that I had with Rome, and I just remember like if you know like I would use TweetDeck, which I don't know if you're familiar with TweetDeck or if everyone's familiar with TweetDeck, but TweetDeck refreshes in real time, and so if a tweet comes in, it pops up.
Okay.
And I remember during segments, it would just be like like during like just and like we would be we'd be talking about like Mookie Betts or something, you know, like it's just like something random and you're like, good night. This is every show. This is every day. This isn't like it wasn't like Smack Off Day. It was literally every single day. And I was just like, this fan base is incredible. And then, you know, people would you know, obviously there's extremes, and you guys would crack us up in studio. We would read some tweets that we would get that obviously never made it to air because they couldn't make it to air. They fit like they politically incorrect. We would have gotten Rome canceled before canceling.
Yeah, like the Michael Sam jokes and the Jeffrey Dahmer and
I mean, some of them we would read and just be like, "Oh my gosh, these people are psychos." But then others we would read and we would die laughing. I still to this day, Alvin DeLauro and I still text regularly, and every now and then I will recite to him a tweet that I read. It was, Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Do you remember Michael Kidd Gilchrist?
No.
University of Kentucky basketball player. He went on to play for, I want to say, the Timberwolves. And he joined the show one time, and I think he like either he like had like he talked like weird. He talked different. I don't remember. He might have had a lisp or something. He might have had like a speech impediment or something, which I don't mean to make light of. I'm just telling you what this tweet said. It really gave us a chuckle. Someone just tweeted, and it was so simple. They just said, "Michael sounds like a kid named Gilchrist." And for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the mood I was in that day or whatever, I read that aloud to Kyle Brandt and Alvin, and I could not stop laughing. I was in tears, and obviously that made Alvin start cracking up, and then Kyle starts laughing, and it was all about this dumb joke. Michael sounds like a kid named Gilchrist, because then I just started thinking about the idea of a kid being named Gilchrist and what he would sound like, and I was like, yeah, he sounds a lot like how Michael Kidd Gilchrist talks.
I know what you're saying. I mean, like, even yesterday, Jim Rome, one of the subjects he had was he lost his iPad. Like he put it in his carry-on. His carry-on, but his what do you call it? We check it in.
Oh, and your check bag. And
when we got to Mexico, it was gone. Someone, it was a Canadian hitman, said something. I lost my iPad too, and signed. What's the name of the lady with the glass eye? I'm reading this whole thing.
Sandy Duncan.
Yeah, of course he didn't read that shit, but I was like, dude, this has to get read. It's so funny, dude.
That's the thing. It's like some of the tweets, like, and I'll say the creative, like the signed, like tweets and stuff, just so well done. Like I freaking love the clones so damn much. I love their passion, and I love everything that they. Like, you guys are just incredible. You're so creative, and you made that show. You made Rome into, and he knows that too. He would always talk about like just how the clones are the reason he's at where he's at. And
credit to him for recognizing that, because when you bring in a crowd, I remember when I was a kid. This is gonna sound gay, but like picture pages with Bill Cosby. Do you remember that show? Picture pages, time to get your. It was like this children's show where you could order whatever he's gonna draw on the next episode ahead of time. And then my mom bought that one time, and it's like, okay, kids, turn to page 3, and it's like he has the marker that made a noise, and I was like, that was so cool. Like, even as a kid, I remember just feeling like being a part of the show, even though I wasn't part of the show, you know? And
right.
But I remember that stuff. And of course, the Jim Rome, like him recognizing that, you know, if you go to Wikipedia, you look up Jim Rome, and it automatically, like, one of the first thing it talks about is the smack off, and the smack off isn't invited. You know, you have to do this. You don't see anything else out there like that. It's during smack off week, it's trending on Twitter, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, "What the fuck? You know, what is this? What is this smack off thing?" And they click on it. It's not wrestling, you know. It's
right. It sounds very wrestling. Do you, when you listen to the show, do you feel that? Do you feel like you're a part of the show?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean, it's cool. I mean, you know, after, you know, how many years was he toying with the Woodscopes and all that, and they still read my tweets from time to time. I still get a little boner, not a little, a huge. I meant like one of the biggest ones ever. Anytime I hear 12 Wood tweets, dude, I record them still. I'm dumb like that. I get home from work. My wife was like, she's rolling her eyes. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't.
I mean, a freaking radio Hall of Famer giving you props during the limited amount of time he has every day for his radio show. Like, that's incredible. Like 200 stations nationwide, 200 plus stations nationwide are hearing your tweet, like contributing to the show. Like, it is a big deal. And so, and that's why I think the fan base is so passionate, is because it's like everyone wants a piece of that pie. And for you to actually get a piece of that pie, that's, I mean, that, like, you should be proud of that. Like, it's incredible.
It's fun. And it's like, I remember,
and especially like knowing like what it's like on the other side of the glass, like the fact that you made it through despite the influx of tweets during every damn segment. Like, that's a huge accomplishment for yours to stick out. Cause like, think about how much content we get shared with us for free every day with tweets and everything and emails. And yours was like, okay, yours got through the gatekeepers of us, the producers, to say like, yeah, it's good enough to contribute and make the show better. And I mean, that's because that's a big thing with Rome. It's like, what can you give me that will make the show better? Yeah. And yeah, like, so be proud of anytime you make it on the air. Every time you make it on the air, be proud of it.
One time I was listening to Rome. This is long before I was getting involved, you know, sending tweets and calling and stuff. I was listening, and he's like, "Oh, here's a tweet or a text or a tweet from Blaze in KC."
I love Blaze.
And it's like, Blaze, your tweets are horrible. Let me just read through a few of these. And he just started reading through his whole entire timeline. And I'm like, I want to be Blaze. I want Rome to like roast me for like 20 minutes.
Blaze is great. He's the nice thing about Blaze, he's contributed a little bit to Cork Bats. He's a big supporter of Cork Bats, and so I do appreciate him on many levels. But his contributions to Rome back in the day, so great. I mean, the drawings that he would do and stuff, and just so many different. Yeah, like he's apparently he's like a playwright too, which I don't know much about his personal life, but I know he lives in Texas, and I think he might be from KC originally, hence the name Blaze in KC.
Yeah.
But he's like I think he's a playwright. Like, I think he writes plays.
I think you're right. Which sad. He's been on the Woodscopes, and I asked him all these questions, and I have a horrible memory. I'd have to go back and find it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, dude, when you've interviewed like the Queen of England, the Dalai Lama.
No,
you've interviewed Sylvester Stallone. Like, you've had so many people on Woodscopes that I would forget too. Honestly, I think that's why you keep asking me back, is because you keep forgetting me that you had me on, and you're like, oh damn it. And then like you get halfway into our interview and you're like, damn it, I've had this guy on before. Why did I bring it back?
No, dude, I love this. Austin, you're like, dude, I'm not joking, man. You're so easy to talk to.
Can I do you mind? Sorry, I don't mean to
have at it, dude. If this show was on at 10 o'clock on Sunday, it might be a different story, but yeah.
Did that come through on the the mic? You didn't hear that?
No, your background cancellation is doing great.
Oh, damn it. That was a good can open sound.
No,
it was
canceled it.
Sounded good. It's a Montucky cold snack. Shout out to Montucky.
We had the first time you were on, we had a pretty fairly good interview, and you're just about to sign off, and I was like, oh, hey, I got one more question for you. What's the deal with you and Titanic, or maybe it was Waffle House, one of the others, and it turned into like the greatest interview I've ever had.
I remember the first time you and I chatted, we talked about Waffle House. I think the second time
we talked about Waffle House every time.
Yeah, no, that's actually probably true. Yeah, that is definitely true. There was one time I remember where I talked to you while walking in the snow one time. Like I stepped outside. I was out at a bar with my friends getting some drinks, and you were like, "Hey, can you do, Woodscopes this week?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And but I was already out with some friends, and so I took a break. I said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna go do this Periscope show one time," and they're like, "Woodscopes? You're going on Woodscopes?" And then everyone at the bar bought me around, and it was
that's bullshit.
And no, everyone knows about the Woodscopes. And so I stepped outside and I did and we chatted, and it was freezing outside.
Yeah.
But man, I wouldn't have let that conversation end. Honestly, you were like, I'm gonna let you go. And I was like, all right, fine. And then I went back inside and got some more drinks because everyone was so
I'm gonna go on the Joso show.
Is that that's another Woodscope show, right? Or like another Periscope?
Do you remember Josh Detroit, dude?
Yeah.
He used to have his like little podcast on the side, and it's like, I don't know.
He was a clone, right?
Yeah.
He
disappeared, but like that was another show at the beginning. Or Nooch had his show.
Where'd he go?
Who? Josh?
Yeah.
I have no idea. He disappeared. But
see that you need to. Okay, needs to be like a special edition of Woodscopes one week where it's like, have you ever seen Don't F with Cats on Netflix? Okay,
no.
Go watch the documentary Don't F with Cats on Netflix. Okay,
all right.
It is wild. It is all about these people that like live online and they find out like they solve this like massive like mystery just through like context clues on the internet, and it's incredible. I think you could do that with the clones because the clones are so passionate. I think you could get all of the clones on board to solve unsolved mysteries. Honestly, it is. I think you could do that. So go watch Don't F with Cats on Netflix, and then circle back.
Okay.
Yes.
I saw this guy on TikTok the other day, and I ended up subscribing to it because I thought it was fascinating. What he does, he'll get a DM from someone who's watching his videos, and they'll say, "Hey, can you find out what game was playing on the TV?"
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is so stupid. But I watch every one of them from start to finish. I was like, this guy has too much free time, but how much fun would that be? So what they do, if you guys don't know what I'm saying, what he does is someone will DM him and say, can you find out what
it'll be like that scene in Zoolander when John Voight, the Zoolander's dad, they're sitting at the bar after their day of working in the coal mines, and they're watching a football game up on the TV. What football game is that they're watching? Because it's actual footage of like a football game,
and he'll break it down.
He'll
how he solved it,
and the context clues. It's insane.
Dude, he found out like the other day he posted one. It was one of those NBA Jam, or not NBA Jams, but one of those video games with Michael Jordan on the cover, like 2K. Is it what's it called? Not Y2K.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Michael Jordan.
No, it's Y2K. Yeah, it's all about computers crashing. Yeah, it's massive dunks and just computers crashing everywhere.
Your Mac 2s or whatever. No, so there's a picture.
Y2K. I was so disappointed. I was so ready for Y2K to just like make the world end.
Did you have bottles of water stored in your basement?
We did. We had like a little like a vault, a bunker, if we will, like ready just in case. And then just all year in 2000, we just from that. Like we would just like crack open. We had all these snacks down there. Like I was like. It was kind of nice because we didn't keep a lot of snacks in the house to begin with, but
yeah, it's kind of like the whole when COVID first came out,
right.
Scary. We were all in fear, but for us introverts who like to sit at home, they closed down all the branches that I worked at. The only way everything was phone or through drive-through, and everything like dollars were sprayed off with shit, and it was in my position, I'm like the banker guy, so I help with the loans and stuff like and what they did is they couldn't. We only had one branch open. We shut down all the other ones, and so we all got 1 week off, and 1 week on, and 1 week off, and 1 week on.
Nice.
And it was like vacation every other week, and it's
you're like, hey, can we get another pandemic going? Can we?
Yeah, exactly.
Who do I need to talk to?
It's pretty nice, and it's like I'm like, I kind of miss those days.
Yeah, I would too.
Everyone was dying in droves, so I could sit at home and play video games for a week.
You know what's funny is I relaunched Cork Bats on January 1st of 2020. And I will say this: if you're ever planning on relaunching a sports blog that you've had sitting defunct on the internet for 5 years, which is pretty much like starting a website from scratch, because you if anything sits idle on the internet for too long, it will die.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't revive your sports blog in a year where 3 months later sports will cease to exist. That was the worst possible timing ever. January 1st, 2020. I got like 3 months, one of which was like all Kobe content because Kobe passed away.
Yeah.
And then the rest after that there was no sports. So it was like, what the hell am I going to do?
You're breaking down The Last Dance 15 days in a row. Yeah.
That was like Super Bowl every Sunday night because it was like the only thing we had. We were all watching it. That was such a weird time, man. Such a weird time.
It was so weird. But yeah, going back to that guy with the Y2K Michael Jordan. It wasn't.
Oh
Y2K. Yeah. So there's a photo on the album or on the case for the video game, and it's him dribbling, and it's all cut out. So there's no background, and he actually finds where the exact play was, where that happened, just based off of the patch that was on the shirt or the shoes he was wearing, and I don't know. He found the exact play. Like he paused it. Like he
That's
found the video.
Incredible.
I'm like, dude, seriously. Like, yeah.
There are just talents in this world that I will never have ever.
Yeah.
And it's most talents, but I just see that kind of stuff and I'm just like, how did you get to there? Like you were just talking about like I'm always so curious as to like how people and like, in media got to where they're at. I'm curious as to how that guy got that ability.
How he found out he had that ability.
Yeah, like he's just like good at finding stuff, like very observant. Like how the hell do you start that? Like, does it start in grade school? Like,
yeah, if he's married, which he's not, but if he was, his spouse is completely loyal to him. There's no because the second she gets home, he's like, okay, perfume. Oh, you were at this bar. You were drinking this alcohol. You met this guy here, and you were hanging out until 8:58. You're ruined.
And she's probably inflatable.
She's inflatable. Yeah. So Rose and Jack.
Are we going there? Are we doing it?
Should we? What does everyone think? Did I'm only watching the YouTube, but I think all the chat is coming from both Twitch and YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what?
How's the chat been?
I'm not watching it. So Periscope died and Woodscopes kind of died with it. So we're just kind of like, we have these shows, but like we're not getting the same audience we were getting before. So it's going to be a rebuilding. So it should only take us like 3 minutes to like, not even 3 minutes, 30 seconds to read all the comments from start to the show until now.
Okay.
But anyhow, I think I'm only stirring up shit when I say that she killed him because I need content. So I wanted you and I to like start fighting a little bit.
Okay, yeah, right. That's like embrace debate, right?
Yeah, and Wells too. Wells would really drive over here from. I think he lives in Washington. He would drive over here and punch me in the face if I actually meant that there was room on the door for both of them.
So I saw Wells tweeting today. Wells is anti.
He's with you, dude.
He's with me.
He is with you. He is. I think he might be the one person on Earth who might know the show more than you.
Okay.
And
So,
I did try to get him to come on and have this conversation but he's busy at night, so we're not doing that. But Wells is one of Jim Rome's favorite people to roast now.
Oh, really?
He's like
how'd that come?
He's like the Blazed and Casey every day. This tweet. Oh, this is gonna make it worse. This is coming in from Wells. I'm not even gonna read it.
Was it a funny tweet that got Wells on the
I don't know.
On basically I guess not the hit list. Yeah, the
one time he posted a tweet. What are something you would hear from Alvin's soundboard that you might hear in the bedroom, and that carried the whole entire show. I mean, it was epic. But that's not.
I love when and that's the thing. Give me an A or give me an F. That's what Rome always says. And if you can derail the show, that sometimes is almost it's some of our favorite days.
I had a tweet about God. What was it? There was a new coach, and his name was Butler or something like that.
Yeah,
and I relayed it to a Batman tweet, and Jim Rome read it, and he must have gotten himself a Batman boner, because he went on for like 15 minutes about the old Batman versus the new, and I was like,
Rome. It's so funny. Rome has those like little things. Rome has like the little things where like the things he is absolutely passionate about. Batman's one of them. His cats randomly.
Oh yeah.
If you start talking about cats, like he will. It's like you would never think in a million years that he would be a cat guy, but he is, and he like loves cats. And then there's a few other things, obviously, like White Shadow and some older school like
his
references.
Drinks, his freaking what do you call those blackberries back in the day. I mean,
there's Sapphire Blue, anything about Javier's. Honestly, like there's a full list of like if you can hit the right notes, you will get Rome off on a tangent, and that will, you could just see him light up when he talks about it too.
Yeah, he got done talking about Batman. He's like, "How did I even get on this tangent?"
Oh yeah, right.
Wood brought me here. Way to go, 12 Wood. I was like, yes. Like 15 minutes, I ruined the show. I loved it. It was my favorite moment. No, it wasn't. But anyhow,
all right.
Are you leaving me? All right. Just cancel now.
No. I'm asking. I'm like, I think we tease the Titanic takes. I think we get into the Titanic.
Titanics and Waffle House. Dude, they should do a Waffle House built
on the Titanic. I don't think they should build the Titanic again. Yeah. Didn't they try? I think they tried to bring back a Titanic 2 and do the same exact voyage. And I don't know. I that's just like testing fate. Honestly, that's
how many sequels actually are decent. I mean,
at least put enough lifeboats on the thing. Well,
I mean, is it this? I mean, are they going to have like Easter eggs in the background? You'll see Jack and Rose chasing each other on the deck. In the background, like, oh my gosh, if you pause, like you see Liar Liar, and I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but like there's this one scene where Fire Marshal Bill's actually in the background of a crowd.
Oh yeah.
Are we gonna see Jack and Rose chasing each other on?
No, I will say if they make a second Titanic, like if they, and I think they did, they may have already done it, but if they build another Titanic, they need to put two things: lifeboats to fit everyone. And every single door must only be small enough for one person. Because I'm sick and tired of the people out on the internet. They see one meme, and we all know the meme I'm talking about. It's the people like being able to fit on. They didn't even like get on an actual door in water. They just taped the size of the door. They taped it on a hardwood floor, and they're like, this is science. Look, there's plenty of space. We can do plenty of activities. We're playing a game of Uno on this taped out friggin' like it's like a crime scene. Like the door died, and that was they taped it out, and that was what they're doing. And they're like, oh, see, we're Mythbusters because we have a digital camera and a bunch of jokes. No, screw you guys. All right, it is about buoyancy. The door. If you would watch the movie if you would spend more than 2 seconds of your life to watch the movie. Sorry, I keep coughing. You would see that they tried to get on the boat, both of them, and the door flips over.
Yeah, but they tried one time, Huff. There should have been at least. Okay, see this.
Oh yeah. You know what? Swimming in the northern Atlantic. You should, they should have tried more than one time.
Look at the video; it's on the screen right now. That thing
literally
is buoyancy. That thing has it's got a boat underneath it. That's not even wobbling.
A 15,000 passenger cruise ocean liner just sunk to the bottom of the ocean. But no, they should try and get on that door one more time. No, Jack, they're thinking survival, and Jack's like, "You get on the boat because I'm a gentleman. You get on the boat." So I don't freeze my ass off, or so you don't freeze your ass off, and I'll take the brunt of the cold for you because I'm a freaking gentleman. I'm a gentleman.
Okay,
that came from steerage,
dude. He gentleman who leaves Fabricio and his Russian friend behind. Like, oh, you guys come.
Okay,
tickets, and we're all going to America. Woohoo! And then
right. Right. Yeah. You tell your mom you're not going to see her for a long time because we're going to America, baby.
And then he leaves him in the poop deck while he's like eating with the first class people.
Look. I said he's a gentleman. Okay, he's a gentleman to ladies. All right. He's not a good friend. No, Jack is a dick of a friend.
Right.
To be honest with you, because the moment he lays eyes on Rose, he instantly loses track of that. Both Fabrizio and that Irish guy he met on the boat. Not good friends with him. So not a good friend. Look, is Jack a great guy? Probably not. I mean, the guy stole a coat from some innocent stranger on the boat.
Right. And that could have came in handy the day that boat went down.
Yeah. Well, it did come in handy because Rose wore it, and that was where the pocket. That's where she put the heart of the ocean in when she got to the Carpathia. Look, Jack was nothing but a gentleman to Rose. He was truly a gentleman. I mean, honestly, Rose goes on to live her life. Okay, he says, and he foreshadows it in the movie. He says, "You're not dying here tonight. You're going to go on. You're going to live your life. You're going to have lots of babies, and you're going to die warm in your bed." Okay, and what does she do? She goes on. She lives her life. She has lots of babies, and she dies warm in her bed. Well, not her bed, the bed that she was sleeping in. On that boat, just to share her story about being on the Titanic. But
it's been 84 years.
Think about how much of a gentleman he was. That Rose leaves this boat. Okay, she knew this guy for 3 days. Knew him for 3 days, and she leaves this boat, and then she goes on to live her life, gets married, has multiple babies with said husband, and yet when she dies, she meets Jack in heaven, not her husband, not the guy she has multiple babies with.
Wow.
And then she didn't even have a photo of Jack, but she shares a story from 84 years ago about her with this guy she met for 3 days.
Yeah,
calls him the love of her life.
Oh, look at he's playing the video right now.
Not her husband, not her grandpa. Just look.
It's Jack Dawson. Jack Dawson obviously made it to heaven because he was such a great.
You don't get to that status with a woman if you're not a gentleman.
Oh, I'm not going to disagree with you. One thing I really want to talk about, and I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this. How come no one ever talks about, and rest in peace, Bill Paxton's role in that movie is the absolute worst role I've ever seen in any movie in my life.
It's not great. It's not great.
And that makes you my new best friend. You're talking to a 90-year-old woman, dude. Like she
have you seen the deleted scenes or not I guess the alternate ending of that one?
No.
It's like where he like confronts the old lady right before she throws the heart of the ocean back into the ocean at the end. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen the 25-year-old movie. He goes and he stops her in the alternate ending, and he stops her and he's like, "Wait, let me just hold it." And he like goes and and she like hands it to him, and he's like, "Ah," and she like dangles it onto his hands, like not letting go of it.
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Ah," and then she pulls it away and then chucks it into the ocean.
Oh my
and,
God,
then he's like happy, like he's like fine with it because he had to hold it. I don't know.
You know that thing is sitting on top of Goose's dog tags. Like, why do you throw this shit in the ocean, man? I mean, that thing, your grandkids could have retired off of that.
Yeah, what was worse, Bill Paxton's acting in Titanic or Tom Cruise's throwing motion of Goose's dog tags? He does this like pirouette. It's like like he's a Radio City Rockette or something. Just
like watching Johnny Damon in the outfield.
Yeah,
you remember that guy? He did this pirouette.
Johnny Damon, sweetest ass in Major League Baseball. That's Fever Pitch for anyone who.
Oh yeah. That's Jimmy Fallon back in his acting days. Isn't that right? Same movie?
Yeah. Jimmy Fallon, Drew Barrymore. It's a great movie. Honestly, I think it gets a bad rap.
Yeah, probably with people like me. I'm sorry, dude. No, actually, I loved it. I loved it because you like it. But let me ask you this. What was I going to ask? It was going to be so good. It was going to change your life for the good, and now I just can't remember.
We're talking about Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Throwing motion of Tom Cruise.
I mean, Bill Paxton, every time I see him in a movie, whether it be Twister or Titanic, I'm like, how did this guy get? I mean, if I interviewed him on the Woodscopes, I would ask him the same question. How did you get to where you are today? But when I ask it to him, it's like, dude, you're horrible. Like,
you don't like Bill Paxton? Are we allowed to speak ill of the dead?
We've been doing it every episode since this show started. Yeah, I mean, no, he's a great actor. God rest his soul.
Well, wasn't he in Aliens too?
Maybe.
Or Alien?
I just remember him the most from he was in Weird Science. He was Chet from Weird
Science. Yeah. Great movie.
But he was the scene when he's like, "That makes you my new best friend." I was like, who talks to a nanny like a grandma like that? No one ever does. I don't know. I'm not a Paxton guy, but I don't know.
And and then he's like, and then she's telling the story. He's like, and then what happened? And she's like, well, Mr. She's like, do you mean, did we do it?
Did we do it? Truth about me.
No, Mr. Dawson was a true professional.
He was a true professional. Truth about me is I've seen the movie maybe twice, maybe 3 times, maybe 100 times. If you piece it all together of how many times I've walked by the room and it's on. But it's always with my wife, so I've never seen the scene where she's actually naked. Because as a good husband, I do this number, and because I'm such a good guy, I don't even like open up my
peek. You don't even peek.
I don't even open my fingers.
You're the kind of Jack Dawson gentleman that I'm referring to.
Absolutely, dude.
If your wife only knew you for 3 days, she would probably talk about you for the rest of her life, and then even after her life,
I'm a fine gentleman.
Meet up with you. Oh, without question. Yeah, you sent me a Christmas card this year.
Yeah,
I was like, who the hell what is this? I thought it was a card laced with anthrax, honestly, because I was like, man, I'm probably so bad on the radio that people are sending me cards laced with anthrax just to get me off the radio. And then I open it up. It's a Christmas card. Wood and his family. It was
yeah. You're one of my people, man. I send one of the Rome guys, and I should just say Rome. The only guy I actually still have a contact with in the XR4 Ti is Alvin DeLauro. And
Alvin is the absolute best.
I
still get a Christmas card from Alvin every year. It's probably my highlight of Christmas, honestly.
I mean, Rit's funny. I don't know anything about Tom. He's the new, I guess, Adam Hawk, but
I don't know Rit or Tom. I didn't have any interaction with them, so I don't know either of them. But
I send one to the studio. I'm not gonna disclose how I found the address, but
Hey, respect. I feel like you and Left and Laguna are the only two people that know.
How did you figure that out? How did you figure that out? I wasn't going to disclose that to anyone, and you just like named the person.
Oh, that you got it from Left.
Of course,
Left is the only man in the world that freaking stormed the studio on Smack Off Day.
Well, that's why I decided to ask him. I'm like, hey, what's the address there? I don't know. I was like, dude, I saw you do a video for your Smack Off where you're chasing Chad in LA in his underwear through the parking lot, dude. I know you know where it is. And he's like, all right, here's the address.
Wait, so Left knew where the new because we've since he stormed the
So if you find like his Smack Off call from like 2019 or 18 or something like that, he's doing it from outside the new studio. And is it Santa Clara? Is it Santa Clara? No, it's.
I mean, I'm not gonna say what it is.
It's not in Costa Mesa. It's not in Costa Mesa. Is that right? I mean, is that how you say that?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna disclose. But
whatever it was, I'm like, dude, I could see the studio in the background. You know, like. And
yeah,
like,
right.
So I Google Earthed it one time, you know, to see it. You could tell the cars parked out front. You could tell like that's Adams, that's Alvin's, and that's Jim Rome's. I mean, you got like the sports car who's taking 2 parking spots.
Now, to be honest with you, you wouldn't have seen Rome's parking from
really.
Earth. Yeah, I'll just say that much.
Oh, he had a garage, or he had a chauffeur. I get it. No, there was a nice sports car right next to all these. Like one was a Jeep and one was a Honda.
That was probably Alvin's.
Yeah,
Alvin is look. Don't sleep on Alvin DeLauro because his wife already is. So many kids that guy has. I think he's had 7 since I've left.
Probably.
He's probably had 3 kids just since we started talking tonight.
Probably. There's a new caller. His name is James in Portland, and he's got the sense of humor of like Brad and Corona, and his shtick is just giving Alvin shit.
I love
it. It's the best. I mean, he has this thing where it's like every time he calls it Jimmy, my man, and then he ends the call with, and then he runs himself. And it's a manual buzzer. He's like, it's the best.
So who are like the top callers today? Like who are like the top clones?
It's the same people. I mean, Rick in Buffalo is probably the new top guy. I mean, you know who he is, I'm sure.
And Rick's the guy who's like, oh, the drove. He talks in that deep voice, and he's like always like he's constipated,
making fun of his dad who's deceased now, and he still makes fun of him. But yeah, I think James of Portland might be the new guy. He's like, even today, Jim was saying, you know, if you call in, you're going front of the line. You don't need to wait because I hate reading your tweets because I know I'm trying to do it in your voice and I can't do it. So you call, you get to the front of the line. All right, and that's you know, you funny. Get that.
Yeah, that's been one of the problems of having like a morning radio show too. It's like I haven't been able to listen to Rome as much, and it sucks because I go out of my way. I like book it in my calendar and everything. I will never miss a Smack Off. I never miss a Smack Off, but that's probably one of the only shows I'm able to ever catch just based off of my schedule alone.
I've heard him mention your name a few times since you've left.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and same with Arnold.
He's probably mentioned my name more since I've left than he did when I was
while you're on the show. I mean, the day you left, you got a lot of airtime. That was
really, and shout out to Rome for that. That was really kind of him. He did not have to do that. He doesn't do that for everyone, and I recognize that.
Yeah, he did that for Keith Arnold too. You ever talk to any of these guys? I know you talked to Alvin.
Keith a little bit. We've texted a little bit. Did I freeze by the way?
Your video froze, but we still hear you, which is important.
Okay. I have no idea what the hell's going on there. But yeah, Keith, I still interact with a little bit. Alvin for sure. Kyle. Yeah. So I still keep in touch with those guys.
Yeah. One person who just disappeared, Adam just disappeared. Like
it's like is he off social media now?
He's off Twitter and everything. I mean, he did an article. Someone interviewed him in a magazine or something like that, and he texted it to me. and I read it, and he breaks down, and a lot of the things you mentioned are the same things he mentions, like how Jim Rome he won't are you still there?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. I'm just trying to fix my video.
I wasn't sure if we lost you. How you were just mentioning how he doesn't recycle takes if he doesn't use it in the day. I know that he's mentioned that, and he's also mentioned like how every night it's like trying to come up with new content for the next day, and it's nice to not be that guy anymore. Yeah. I don't know what he does for a living anymore, but anyhow, yeah, that's just I don't know, dude. It's when I think of XR4 Ti guys, and you've heard me say it a million times, Austin Huff is my favorite guy. You're always just fun to chat with, and I feel bad sometimes because I have you like, can you come on again? And you're like, ugh.
No, dude, it's honestly like, and I think I've told you this before. I wouldn't do it for just anyone, man. I really do. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the support you've given to me, both in my personal and professional life. All the support you've given Cork Bats, honestly, that means the world to me, probably more than anything. And you're fun to talk to, man. And I think you
appreciate it.
I respect other people that hustle their ass off and work hard, and because it is a grind. Because I know you work a full-time job and you do this on the side. And this, I don't think the people that consume this, I don't think they understand just how much goes into it. From everything. And you're always, the thing I love about you too is you're always looking to improve it. You're always looking to grow it. And so I always try to make anytime anyone who wants to talk to me, I try and make time for them. But also like for people like you, like that hustle hard and are easy to talk to, I always will always have your back in anything I can do, in any way I can help out in any like, of course, I
appreciate it. And I adore that. But next time I'm in the Chicago area, which is rare, we're gonna.
I know. Yeah, you need to hit me up. We'll go see the Bean together.
The Bean. What's the Bean? Dude, I love that. You gotta go see the Bean.
Dude, you got to see the Bean. You got to see the Bean.
There's no Waffle Houses around there, but have you eaten?
There's not.
Have you eaten at Yolk yet?
I have not eaten at Yolk. I've been going to a place I go to every Friday after the show, is which actually Kyle Brandt of all people taught me this. Always have a carrot in your work week. You work you work your butt off all day, or all week. Have something at the end of the and Rome talks about it too, with like his Magic Blue after a Friday.
Friday after
on a Friday you back it. Do they still back it up and or denim
really?
Up and back it in?
That's Kyle Brandt's thing, but yeah, every now and then you'll hear it.
Denim up and back it in, and then you get that Magic Blue at the end of the day. Like that's Rome's. My carrot here in Chicago has been a place called Egg Harbor. It's a little breakfast place, and they've got a really girly drink called the Harborcino, and I just get that every Friday, and that's what I work my week for. So,
my wife and I was there. We were there. We used to go there every year, but now it's like once every 4 or 5 years. But we were there one time, and we stopped a local walking down the street, and we're like, "Hey, we like breakfast. Where do we go?" And they said Yolk, without a doubt, Yolk. Yeah. And we're like, okay, so we went to Yolk. They only had one location at the time. Last time we were there last summer, they had like 6 locations now.
Oh wow!
And the one I went to was downtown, like I can't remember the name of the street. But I walked in there, and it was a pretty big building. It was shoulder to shoulder. I mean, this place was packed.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you haven't checked it out, I mean, there's a reason it's packed. It's good shit.
I'm actually gonna write that down right now. Yolk, YOLK, just like a yolk of an egg.
You got it.
There's also a place in Lincoln Park that I go to every weekend almost, called Nookies, and it's like, because you know me, like I love a greasy spoon. I love a diner. I love any place that gets me at least some semblance of Waffle House. And Nookies, this place here in Lincoln Park, it's not like full greasy spoon, like it's kind of nice, but it's as close as I've found so far, and I really like it.
To Waffle House.
It's a great breakfast joint, you know, like it's got all your breakfast food, hash browns, bacon, sausage, all of that. So
nothing's like Waffle House, though. I mean,
nothing is, and I have to drive. I'm 182 miles away from the closest Waffle House, so it's in Indianapolis, Indiana. So
hold on a second. Hey Siri, where's the nearest Waffle House? How come I can't hear it?
Exchange Coffee House on Lawrence Drive in DePere.
No, I said Waffle House, bitch.
8 miles to your north.
That's right.
With Siri. So yeah, have you set off Rome's waffle Siri any time recently?
I tried. I called in during a B segment. He does this thing once a week where he allows people to
I've
call
seen
in.
the clip. You strictly tried to set off his his Siri, which is phenomenal. That thing would go off all the time. Oh, mine just went off. Damn it.
I've sent tweets hoping that would happen sometime to get Jim Rome to say "Hey Siri," and then all of a sudden his phone goes off.
Did you hear mine? Mine just went off.
No.
I don't know if I went silent there for a second, but mine went off. So
no, I heard you say it went off, but yeah, I've been trying to get Jim Rome's Siri to go off during the show because it's happened before. He'll be like, "Siri, that's seriously weird," and all of a sudden, "No, I'm not talking to you, phone."
Yeah, right. That's a fun game. I think more people should try and play that game.
Yeah. All right, Austin Huff, dude. We are going to do a little thing. Liz in Fall City wants to do this thing where we do a scavenger hunt with me and my brother. But if you want to do it too, you're welcome to. But if you got family things, totally understand. I don't know what this is. I think she's just going to come out here and say the first person who finds freaking spatula and brings it back to the camera wins $1 million or something like that. So,
okay, yeah, no, I'll play for $1 million.
All right, Horse, is she still want to do this?
I'm efforting.
You're efforting. All right,
efforting.
And get my twin brother on too. I think he wants to do it too.
Well, he's got the link.
It's not $1 million.
No $1 million?
Well, I'm out. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Liz, have you met Austin? Austin, have you met Liz?
I am pretty sure we've talked. Maybe.
Liz, we interact on Twitter quite a bit, right?
Yeah, we do. Your early morning wake up, I live for it.
Hell yeah! Let's go.
Oh,
I just
part of my
know that
daily
I'm not.
routine.
I love it. I'm glad to know I'm not alone in the world of waking up early. So
She posts a lot of Cuba Gooding Jr. because she's a Cowboys fan. Well, actually, they're good this year, but last year, lots of Cuba Gooding Jr.
Right.
Someone's got to educate me. What is this rogue?
So the early morning wake up call is he will say something random to tweet a GIF for the early morning crew to check in.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
And Austin, this is my twin brother. We call him 512 Lumber.
Lumber, what's up, dude?
What's up, dude? How you doing?
Doing well, man. This is a freaking party in here. I love this.
Obviously, the better looking is right here, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Can I make a small apology right now? Me and Bucks and Osh Tyler.
Oh my gosh.
We're in the tournament right now. We are in a tournament. We're deep.
Playing what game? Rocket League?
Rocket League.
You know, and it's free.
Oh my goodness.
Best waste of time ever.
All right. Liz, let's do this. While he's playing, we got to get him distracted.
Yeah, what competition is going to be most important?
Right. I'm doing my best. my best.
So what's the rules? Are we you're going to mention something in the house and we got to go find it?
Yeah.
Bring it back to the camera.
I think like Jimmy Kimmel was doing it, and it's so it's funny. Like he'll get people on the Zoom.
Jimmy Kimmel was like zooming people at home, or what?
Correct, and then
All
people
right.
have to go find stuff.
It's gonna be challenging for me because if I move too fast, dogs will bark and that will wake up the kid, which will wake up my wife. And so I'm gonna do a lot of tiptoeing. So if I beat you guys in any of these, it's gonna be a surprise.
Okay, the first thing is a bobblehead. Any bobblehead.
I don't have any.
I got it, Liz.
Mine are all in my office. Oh my god!
Oh, a bobblehead.
Who was first?
Look at Austin. Like he has one.
Does it have to be out? Does it have to be out of the package? I also have Derek Henry.
No, you have one.
Dude, he had it in his lap. I don't know. That's amazing.
Jeez.
I have a Star Wars one. I mean, that.
I would have to get in my car and drive 20 minutes to go get my bobbleheads, but all right.
Okay, cool. I think the next one's gonna really make everybody have to leave. It's a refrigerator magnet.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It doesn't have to be a refrigerator magnet. I have a magnet. It's a St. Jude magnet.
I don't think I have one in the house.
Sick kids.
Oh. Yeah, that counts.
Does that count?
That counts.
Okay.
Yeah, it does count.
What's the score, Jeff?
Watch.
Just good, Austin.
We have to wait for them to look. I want to win that $1 million. We have to wait for them all to come back.
Do we have a winner yet?
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, we have a winner.
No.
Right there.
Yes. the next
magnetic
one is.
But wait, who won that one?
Austin.
What'd you have? A bobblehead that's magnetic for your fridge?
I had my my St. Jude.
Actually, I think that's a good invention, Wood.
Oh, nice. I forgot my glasses.
Donate to St. Jude. They do incredible work.
I will. They'll give you a magnet. Yeah. Damn it.
They'll give me a magnet, and then I can win the $1 million from the scavenger hunt.
Nice.
The next one is an old cell phone. Old. It can't just be like a cell phone.
I got a bunch of them right here. I got a bunch of them.
Oh, Lumber won that one.
Old Pompeii. I got the first.
Yeah,
did you see Horse? How excited he got? Katana.
Yeah. Wait. How many is it? Does it come down to the tiebreaker of how many do you have?
Yeah, but you should go by age. Mine's older than all yours.
No.
Yeah. The flip.
Katana? Come on.
Yeah, you do.
I only think Horse won that one because I had the same phone.
I have the Pompeii. I can't find my flip phone. I looked for that not that long ago. Gone.
All right, the next item is a Justin Fields jersey.
Oh,
jeez.
Shit.
I feel like Austin's gonna have this close by too.
A
shot glass.
Oh,
a shot glass.
I've got 2 whiskey glasses.
No, it's got to be a shot glass.
Yeah. Do I have a shot glass down here?
Where's Horse?
How many do you want?
Did someone show one already?
It's a shot glass.
What about a Cubs ice cream helmet? Does that count?
Christmas.
That works.
I could shoot like
ice cream
tequila out of this if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I had you beat by 7 minutes, so your Cubs.
You know, it's funny. I got this for Christmas, and I didn't want to tell them that I don't drink anymore, so I'm gonna have to re-gift it.
Well, put apple juice in it, dude.
I have a shot ski in my garage. Are you guys ever done a shot ski?
No.
Isn't that where you tip them? You've got people lined up.
Oh yeah.
It's like a long ski with just a bunch of shot glasses on it.
I would have loved to see you like run in with that thing. I got it. Except
I feel sorry for the short people on
My
those.
wife told me don't trip down the stairs. I'm upstairs. I got to run downstairs for everything.
Listen.
I'm out of breath. I'm so fat.
Well, I wasn't gonna say anything, but the age probably has a lot to do with it too.
What's that?
I like to give a Horse a lot of shit.
Horse shit?
I said your age probably had a lot to do with it too, but
I am old.
All right, Liz, what do we got?
Hey, does anybody have
a Nebraska hat? How about a Cowboys hat?
I do have a Cowboys hat.
I know you have one of those too.
49ers hat.
How about a book of matches?
I don't have that.
Oh,
how about a box of matches? Would that count?
I've got a blue mini big.
I don't think I have a box of matches in my entire house.
A book of matches.
No matches.
Oh, here. Which would I don't know why I didn't bring this up, but this is sitting on my desk.
Yeah, yeah. You're welcome. No, I don't know. I don't know if it was my tweet that got Waffle House to react to you. I think he gave me credit one time. I started.
You know what? Yeah, no, I think it was. I think it was the first time I came on here and we talked about Woodscopes and you clipped it and Waffle House DM'd me and said, "Okay, that was awesome," and
but they didn't respond. They didn't respond to the video. They responded to Liz in Fall City's tweet that followed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So she gets the great. You got to send her the coffee mug.
Okay. Well, Liz, I owe you a lot.
I don't even remember. When did that happen?
I don't know. This was probably 2018.
18.
Yeah. And I've had a great relationship with them since, and they've sent me a lot of nice stuff over the years, which has been great.
Hey, speaking
Wait. I did notice that a famous documentarian producer was talking to you on Twitter about your relationship with Waffle House one time. What's his name?
Oh, the guy from Miami.
Cocaine Cowboys or whatever.
Yeah. Gosh, what is his name? He's on with Levitard every week.
Is he really? He makes some documentaries. What's the?
Yeah, he did the steroids one.
First one I saw was Cocaine Cowboys or whatever it was. It was about Miami and the cocaine that moves in and out of Cuba or whatever it is. What's his name?
I'm gonna find it. Billy Corbin. Billy Corbin.
Billy Corbin.
Billy Corbin is a massive Waffle House fan.
Yeah.
What's the small documentaries you made? There was one that really impressed me. I can't remember what it was.
What, Billy Corbin?
No, I think you made some with Cork Betts during the pandemic. It was
Randy Johnson blocked us one time.
Okay.
Like a bird.
I love the Randy Johnson thing. Talk about it. Yes.
I don't know about
it. So we made a dumb meme one time. We found this guy. There was a video of a guy checking his reflection out in the window on a subway, and he had this long mullet. And we just made a joke, and it was like, and he was kind of dressed kind of nice, like in a leather jacket and stuff. And we just made a joke. It was like, oh, this is Randy Johnson on the way to that Dove's funeral. And I have no idea how, but Randy Johnson found it and commented and said just 3 words: "That's not me."
That's not me.
And at first we were like, oh damn, 5-time Cy Young winner Randy Johnson just commented on our Instagram post. This is incredible. This is the greatest day of my life. Like, freaking loved. I grew up a Mariners fan, in the Ken Griffey Jr. days. Randy Johnson, like, I love him. This is incredible. He loved him in Little Big League. Great. And then I find out, like, oh, Randy Johnson blocked us on Instagram. We no longer follow Randy Johnson because he blocked us.
That's nice.
And it was one of the weirdest things, like one of the weirdest moments of my life, because it went from like the high of highs of like, oh my gosh, Randy Johnson commented on our post. This is incredible. And then it was like, oh my gosh, Randy Johnson hates our guts. What the hell?
Devastation.
And we were like, Randy, it was a joke. Like, we know that wasn't you. Like, you didn't have to even comment, "That's not me." Like, we know that wasn't you. Yeah. It was a joke. And I don't know. Clearly,
you guys were the first people to ever, to like make it sound like someone was actually him. That wasn't.
Yeah. And you and your friend made a little podcast recently, right? Where y'all were talking about it.
Yeah.
Austin, I love all your videos.
Oh, thank you.
I love when you talk to yourself. I love when you talk to yourself.
Oh, the
when you're
Sports
like
Talk
two
Radio?
different people. Oh my God! Yes,
that is. Yeah, those are fun. Which I need to. My goal is to make more of those this year. Because I'm so ingrained in Sports Talk Radio. More so on the local front, where like Sports Talk Radio on the local front is just always so lazy and it's boring and it's terrible radio. And so I like to poke fun at that. And I do that just by talking to myself. I created these 2 characters. One who's just the host, and another guy's named Big Raz, and Big Raz is like the dumbest of dumb Sports Talk Radio hosts. So it's fun.
It is. I also love when you go to the Bulls games and pretend like you don't know who Michael Jordan is.
Yeah, DeMar DeRozan. He's the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, they're like, and you're right there by the Michael Jordan
I
statue.
I still stand by that take. Honestly, DeMar DeRozan, greatest fool of all time. People are asking. People are asking.
Are there anyone still doing the every 25 tweets I will make whatever it is larger?
Yeah,
Dude,
I saw that.
The collar.
Yeah,
The collar.
That blew
I saw-
up, didn't it?
So let's
I
talk
saw the
about
FBI
Yes.
for a second. There's a video or there's a tweet that you did that was if every 25 was it? Retweet.
I should have made it more. To be honest with you.
Jason Kidd's collar will get or his. It was
And
his
you know what? And I'll stand by this today. We were talking earlier about Kyle Brandt and his always helping out Cork Bats and giving us boosts and plugging us and stuff. I blame him for the reason of that blowing up because I did that thinking it would do. I knew going in, I'm like, this is going to do pretty well. I know it. There's some things that some content that we create that's going in, you're like, yeah, this is going to do pretty well. I made that on a Thursday night. Every Thursday night, my wife and I, before our baby was born, we would have a little date night and we were getting ready to go out to dinner. It's probably an hour before, and I just tweeted that out, thinking nothing of it. I was like, this will probably get maybe 300 likes, and I'll do a couple of photoshops, and it'll be funny.
Yeah,
I'm not joking.
KC Royals. Sorry,
it was
sorry.
I got to 25, and then it was okay. Oh wow, okay. Well, I better start working on the first Photoshop. Then I get to then next time I checked, it was at 50, and I was like, oh damn, okay. Well, I got 2 Photoshops I got to do now. Then I checked again, it was at 75, and then from 75 it went to 125, and I was like, what is going on? And I checked my retweets, and sure enough, Kyle Brandt gave us a retweet.
Nice.
And with his I think he had 150, 200,000 Twitter followers.
Yeah.
That's when it really started spiraling. And so I made a couple of Photoshops. Then I had to go to dinner with my wife, and I told my wife, I was like, hey, I've got something on the internet that's kind of blowing up right now. And no joke, every time I checked, it was 1,000 more retweets or
That's
likes,
awesome.
I guess. And it was insane how much it blew up. And then the next, I came home from that dinner, had to pump out some more Photoshops, and then the next morning, I had to go to work. And the whole time I'm at work, it's not like the internet paused. It kept getting likes, likes and retweets. So I get home from work that day, and I'm like, damn, I gotta get to work on some Photoshops. And I just went. I worked well into the night just working on Photoshops, and it ended up being one of the more obviously probably the biggest thing that we've ever done. But
You got
How many totals did you get?
let me. I think I can check. I think it's still our pinned tweet.
Yeah, how far out were you? You were out in outer space.
We reached God at one point. That was for sure.
That how do you end? How do you go beyond that? I mean,
and that's where I ended it. I was like, I don't think you can go past God, and I don't want to try and test that either.
Matt was just mentioning, and I said this. I saw this too, but I saw that the Kansas City Royals. I'm a fan of the Royals. Said that for every 25 likes, Salvador Perez's gum, he's blown up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the bubble.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, Austin Huff must have stolen that from them. And come to find out, was the opposite, dude. And
There's the FTX dude too. What's his name? Freed. Somebody made his neck longer. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, so we 184,000 likes.
Wow.
So you divide 184,000 by 25, and that's technically how many Photoshops I was supposed to make, but I did not make that many. 21,500 retweets. Now, the cool thing about this was, I remember some of the coolest retweets we got were from Questlove. Questlove retweeted it and was like, dude, this is hilarious.
Mm-mm.
And then
nice.
And then we did it. It wasn't a direct retweet, but House of Highlights, the Instagram account that is blown up, it's got millions of followers. They picked it up and posted it to their Instagram page, and LeBron commented on that.
Wow.
With the
yes, I
crying,
remember.
laughing face emojis. And then so did like the actor Michael B. Jordan. Both of them reacted to that on House of Highlights. And I was like, okay, that counts. I'm taking that. And I'm LeBron laughed at something that I made, and it's like Wood. It's like you when Rome reads your tweets on the. That was like how I felt all day that day. It was. I was like, I can't believe LeBron has seen something that I have made. I'm gonna go die now, and it's been a great life,
dude. You got to get used to that because you are gonna blow, dude. Your content is phenomenal, and it's like I'm waiting for the day when you get your big ass break because it's gonna happen. All right,
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
It's not a matter of if, it's gonna be when. And
well, thank you. It's people. It's honestly, it's people like you guys, Liz and Wood, like you guys, like just sharing all the stuff, retweeting, and telling friends about it. Like that's honestly how it does blow up. So I appreciate people like you guys for sure. You guys are cool kids, as we say.
Oh, nice. I've never been a cool kid.
The college football fan reactions too.
All
good stuff.
Those are good.
The Twitter thread. Yeah, I started that randomly in the first week of college football.
Oh, I love it.
This will be something fun to keep up with throughout the year.
Good stuff.
So.
About getting Jim Rome on your Doing Lines. Is it called Doing Lines, right?
Yeah, Doing Lines. Yeah,
dude, just ask him. He's not going to say yes unless you ask him.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to get him on Doing Lines though. I don't know if that would be best suited. What I want to get him on is I used to have this podcast called The Show.
Yeah,
and
I remember that with the hat.
That was the logo. And I really want to revive that podcast and get him on something like that, where it's like more of like a long form like interview where like I can ask him about his career and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Rather than like Doing Lines, which is kind of more silly. And
where do people find Doing Lines?
Wherever podcasts are found, honestly, and we've got links on our on our Twitter and on our Instagram as well. Or if you go to corkbats.com, we've got a podcast tab there. You can find it there. It's literally just search Doing Lines, and it's a dumb podcast. They're short episodes, which is nice, easily digestible, and we have some really great guests on, and they make wagers on dumb bets, on dumb NFL bets. They bet on fake lines with fake money, and we donate all of the winnings to fake charities.
What's your fake charity?
It's a great question. There's a foundation in the Chicagoland area trying to get a Waffle House here. That I think would be one for sure.
Nice.
The Human Fund.
Yeah. Also, Short Kings Anonymous. I think that is one.
Short.
5'9" and under. I think that is.
Which really makes it's misleading when you talk about a king size bed. And
right.
They should make short king beds.
It's a king size bed, but it's like your feet are going to be hanging off the edge.
They did make beds for us, though, Jeff.
That's the twin beds, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Glad you clarified that because that sounded kind of.
So wait, are you guys twins? Is that the relationship? Twin brothers, fraternal or identical?
Tell me he's not the second best looking guy I've ever seen, right?
Probably am.
How far apart are you guys?
He's in Nebraska and I'm in Wisconsin. So
not geographically, by age.
About 5 minutes, and we're not even sure I'm Jeff or 12 Wood, or he's Matt.
Oh, they swapped you at birth.
Grandma in her deathbed told me the story how my mom would call like, I think I switched the twins. She was on morphine when she told the story, and when I confronted my mom, she's like, well, maybe not. I don't know. And of course, my dad and I just talked about it last week, and he's like, yeah, it could happen. Who cares?
What an identity crisis for you two.
I know. Did I just lose my birthright?
Yeah.
I'm the older one, or I thought I was.
That's true.
It's like Jacob and Esau. Is it Jake and Esau?
There's also photo evidence, kind of footprint, right?
The footprint. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, we could do.
wood.
There's nothing like a little CSI investigation.
We should get that guy on TikTok.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Get that hockey guy, the guy who figures out the hockey games on TikTok. Get him to figure out if you guys are really.
He'll figure it out.
Real.
I don't know if I want him to dig into me though. I mean, he might find some dirt, and I don't need exposed. You know what
honestly,
I mean?
I don't even know who I've been talking to for the last 2 hours. Like
I don't even know who you've been talking to. That's
I feel like the right one is the older one. Because there's one playing video games and there's one that's not. So,
but I was wearing a bow tie on my head.
I'm legitimately starting to question who I am now. I don't even know if I'm Austin.
As you should. You might be a triplet, actually.
It's Justin Huff.
That's why Wood sends me Christmas cards is because he thinks I'm family.
Dude, did you family that photoshopped in there?
Say what?
Did you like the family I photoshopped in there?
Oh, I thought they were very nice. Yeah, I thought that was a very beautiful family. In fact, that was kind of what tipped me off as to how it was you. Yeah. Because honestly, it came from Jeff, and I'm like, who the hell? I don't know who this is.
You're like, hold on, let me put a little hat on it. Oh yeah, it's 12.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, let me put like little sunglasses on there. Wait a minute, that's 12 wood, and awesome. They yeah, and then I was like, well, damn, it's pretty nice of him to go to the effort of photoshopping an entire family into this Christmas card for me.
I'm not even married.
Yeah, no, you don't. There's no way you've even touched a boob, to be honest. Yeah,
I don't even know where to find one, to be honest. All right, dude, I've kept you on.
Was the next item of the scavenger
This
hunt.
is absolutely a record breaker tonight. I've never kept anyone on this long, and I apologize greatly.
Sorry, can I interrupt? But I suggest that for every 10 likes, you add a new kid to the
to his Christmas card.
Yes.
It only takes 500 retweets or likes to get caught up to Alvin. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think about how many likes Alvin has gotten through the years to add the number of kids that he has to his family.
Yeah, Alvin's actually.
Nick Cannon's just trying to catch up to Alvin.
Gave him yeah.
All right. Well, let's dude, thank you. Austin Huff, I'm gonna bug you like once
Thanks, Austin.
a year.
Thank you guys. No, thank you. I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support and everything that you do, because it's so grassroots what I do, and I don't have the means, at least right now, to boost my own stuff. So the help that you guys give to Cork Bats and everything that I do, it means a lot. So I do appreciate it.
Can I ask a question before he leaves? Can you give us just a couple of thoughts on how nervous you are about the game tomorrow? Because that's it.
Oh, the Titans game?
Jacksonville wins, they're in. If the Titans win, they're in. Are you nervous?
He wasn't talking about the Bears. Just
no joke. That's all I was thinking about before I came on, and it's all I will be thinking about after I get off. Because it is. Look, I've got my little Derrick Henry right there.
Is the game in Jacksonville or is it in Tennessee?
Yeah, it is in Jacksonville.
It's
so
in
it
Jacksonville.
is.
Wow.
When you're in, it is. I will be a nervous wreck tomorrow night. I may or may not tweet about the game.
Yeah, sure.
I enjoyed your reaction video last night.
I'm sorry.
Tweeting through it for sure. It is. I'm nervous as hell, to be honest with you, Horse. It is bad. I'm definitely.
Well, there's two teams with different momentums right now.
I know, and that's the thing. That's the thing. The Titans
scary.
are reeling, and the Jags are probably one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. So it is hard for me to. Yeah, I'm just hoping. I'm hoping for a miracle. I'm hoping the Titans end their 6-game losing streak with a win that will make them the AFC champions for the third, AFC South champions for the third.
That's
straight
crazy.
Or next week, Cuba Gooding Jr.
I hope not. I hope I don't see Cuba for the rest of the year, because that would mean one thing: Josh Dobbs leading the Titans to a Super Bowl title.
Jeez Louise.
Well, Packer fans are nervous too. They got the same thing.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay, Austin, I was going to say really quickly, one guest we had on the Woodscopes recently, his name is Brother Bill. if you're looking for anyone to collaborate that's funny as hell, this is a guy you need to go. Just Liz is the one that like, Jeff, you gotta check this guy out.
Yeah,
and he's on. He does these videos every week for the Bills games.
Very
Just the
Yeah.
stupidest videos on earth, but he's getting. I mean, he went from like, I don't know how many followers a year ago. Now he's got close to 50,000.
Yeah, he's
Oh, wow.
he's blown up.
And
He's got
wow.
sponsors now.
He's got sponsors now. I didn't know that.
What is he?
Yeah.
Is he affiliated with anyone, or is he kind of
No.
It's his
by
own
himself?
thing. It's his own thing, and it's mostly Twitter. He does
It's just a
TikToks
hype.
too,
It's a
but
hype video.
yeah, every week he does a video doing like this. It's almost like what do you call it? Like the doll that you
He
poke
does it
with
to
a pen.
Seven Nation
doll.
Army.
Yeah, but what's the what?
Little voodoo doll.
It's a voodoo doll, but it's the whole video is like him kicking. Like if he's playing the Phillies, he'll take a cheesesteak hoagie and punt it in the backyard. It's funny. It's
funny.
And his name's Brother Bill.
Yeah,
Brother
yeah.
Bill
What's his Twitter
716, I believe. Yeah, it's at Brother Bill 716.
It's good stuff. He was funny on the Woodscopes. I like talking to him.
He was a nice guy.
Well, I'm always looking to kind of grow the Cork Baths team if and I obviously I have to do so on a budget, which is no budget. But if anyone anyone that I can get.
His videos are high budget, dude. He's pouring millions.
I was gonna say he might be out of my league.
No,
Christopher Nolan.
He
is
wakes up
producing
on a
his videos
folding
now.
bed.
Yeah.
He wakes up on one of those folding tables.
Yeah,
Very creative.
we got
He's got Christopher Nolan producing the videos now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer.
Hans
in the
Zimmer
score.
playing the music.
Mhm.
Dude, Austin,
Amazing.
dude, I'm keeping you way too long. We're gonna end this right.
Thank you guys.
You are. How do I say this in English? The shit.
I
Titans.
I love you,
Tighten
dude.
up.
Tighten up, and good luck with your team tomorrow. And hopefully
you.
we'll see you in the playoff in the Super Bowl. Packers, Titans.
Oh, Packers Titans Super Bowl. I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'd love that. A rematch of Thursday Night Football a couple weeks ago.
Titans
that was
49ers.
bad.
Titans 49ers.
It was great for me because that was literally the last game the Titans won.
Is that right? Oh my god! All right,
Bad.
let's end the show. Horse, do the closing theme song.
Do we have?
Oh, we don't have one of those.
We don't have
Count
one.
me out,
Oh,
bro.
let's make one up.
Count me out.
As
Making
we
the way in the
go
world
on,
today.
we remember all the times we had together. And as our lives
changed.
no one ever, we will still be
What key is
friends
that?
for.
Friends forever.
Wait. If an acoustic guitar is here, then you definitely know Wonderwall. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you.
Sings a little out of focus.
By now. All right.
Can't do
That'll be
it.
the closing end song. You
All
should
right,
make
guys.
that the closing end song for literally every guest you have on from after this.
We will from now on.
Okay.
Horse, in the count of 3, you are going to end the show. 1. Are we doing 3, 2, 1, or 1 to 3? 3, 2, 1.